So marriage is hard. And girl, if you feel like you can't do it, then don't do it. Because I can assure you it is hard. I mean, Paul knew about this and he talked about it in the Bible. And it's even worse when you know you are the problem. Your partner is not the problem. You are the problem. You are the one with anger issues. You are the one who is self-destructive. You have the spirit of self-sabotage. You just don't know how to let things go. It becomes hard. And the thing about that is time will come when you will give up. And I feel like so many people add fuel into the fire and refuse to just look at themselves and say, I am the reason this relationship failed. I am the reason we didn't work. So I can assure you, baby, that marriage is going to bring out the worst in you. What makes marriage hard is that it is work. And when they say it is work, they're literally telling you you're going to work on your habits. Those things that you grew up doing, you're supposed to change them when you get married. And like they always say that when a tree grows, it's very hard to bend it, because when you try to bend it, it breaks. And I think that's where and when it starts to really get hard. And that's when we start to say love is sacrifice, love is compromise, because changing habits, it's something that is hard and it just doesn't come straight on. You have to do the work, and doing work is like telling you to go to the gym, and you know what it means? It hurts you. Sometimes you're used to this routine, you're used to this character, you're used to the things, and they tell you to change them. And what makes it even harder is that the dude next to you, that sweetheart of yours, has his own shit going on, has his own things going on. So it gets hard. And I think we don't talk about this. And I want to share things that make relationships really hard. One of them is that we joke around with compatibility. And God, let me say this, that I want to say this. The thing about compatibility is that you think when you get someone and he talks and you also talk, you people just have like, the same language and you love the same things. You think that's the brighter side. Because in that, there are also going to be problems, because sometimes I have dated someone, I would talk and he would talk, we had like in sync energy, but then there's when we would get passionate and get sour. So even if you find someone you're compatible to, it doesn't rule out the fact that you guys are going to have issues. So what is called for sacrifice, and that sacrifice means that one of you has to shut up. That's hard. To be the one to be crucified. I mean, it's only Jesus who accepted to be crucified. So that's when you will have to choose to be crucified. One has to come down. Secondly, let's talk about communication. Communication is very vital in a relationship, but what makes it hard is when you are a communicator and then you marry someone who doesn't know how to communicate. Sweetheart, that drains, because you feel like you're always pouring into their cup and they just don't reciprocate it. Let's see, if you marry a man who doesn't communicate, sweetheart, and you are the communicator, that's when now you find girls feel like they're getting masculine, because they're the one saying, babe, I think this is the right thing. Can we go this route? Can we do this? She's the one, and the man's like, yeah. It gets so tiring. So you ask a woman who is in that place, what are you going to do? I mean, you're married to this guy and he's not communicating. And some of them even say, oh, this woman talks a lot. They even begin to call you controlling. Yet when you don't do anything, nothing happens. It gets hard. Okay, so then you will have to learn tactics. Like, for example, how you approach him. how, you know, you start a conversation and start an idea and make it look like it's him who actually brought up the idea, yet it was you. There is so much compromise that you have to, you know, I mean, there are times when you just want someone to just counter, you know, like when you're talking, there is just this mutual conversations and you're flowing, and there's when you just want them to pour into your cup, to mostly when you're going through something. Have you been in a relationship whereby if this person was going through anything, you took them to a place of healing, to a place of grace? But when it's your turn, when it's you in this marriage, in this relationship, going through anything, you know, bad stuff, you find the person's like, no, everything is going to be fine. But you want them to go deeper. You want them to go deeper. Like, you want them to be like, let me tell you, the scripture says that Christ will put a table right in front of you. Your enemies will watch you eating. I don't know how you inspire or you want to be inspired, but then this person doesn't pour into your cup. What are you going to do? You find that you'll have to compromise. And you're like, but why am I the one to compromise? Sometimes you have to. And sometimes you have to accept. And I'm not going to even put a justification there. That's it. There are things I feel like they don't have solutions. You just married a man who doesn't communicate, and you cannot twist him to communicate. You cannot teach him to communicate. Like, they be like today, oh, because you reminded them to talk, they yap, and then tomorrow they just fall back into the routine. And then the other thing is when love languages begin to hurt. Girl, you see, I don't know who brought this whole love language thing, but let me tell you, this is deep. Because you find that there's a different way you want to be loved, and this person is not even trying to understand how you want to be loved. And you're like, I love quality time. I love to sit with you, and you just put your phone there, and then you look me in the eyes, and then we talk, and then like your hand is running through my hair, and maybe your hand is in my cheek. Like, that's how you. And some women, you don't even need like to do it for like just 15 minutes or just for a moment. That's all she wants. But you find that some guys find that so hard to do. But this is how this person receives love. For you, you go, you buy your flowers after knowing your wife, and then you want her to be excited. It just doesn't work like that, and that makes marriage hard. Because at a certain point you begin to tell them, oh, this is what I want, this is what I want, and they do it once and then just go back to the pattern. So you really get tired. And you see, I think the thing about anger or people giving up, it's not about just an event. It's a series of events happening. You repeatedly telling someone that this is what I want, and then they don't even take time to just be like, okay, I am going to teach myself to give my partner what they want. And that's when love languages begin to hurt. If you are a communicator, you want to be able to communicate with this person. I had someone say that people whose love language is words of affirmation are people who don't know how to love themselves. No, I don't think so. Because my love language is words of affirmation. So if you came to me and you want to be with me in a relationship, and I want you to affirm me and remind me and just keep me on my, it's like a way of refreshing my mind, and just us being connected. It doesn't mean that I don't love myself. I do love myself, but I want you to convey it the same way you got me to like you. Just continue doing that. But you find that it's so hard to do that. If you go back to the first point that I said, worse if you get a man who is this nonchalant man, oh my God, they will get you in your throat. So I think it's very important, because women just want you to try. You don't really have to be the perfect communicator, but create an atmosphere where she feels, oh, I am loved. Because the truth is, even when a woman gets married, she feels insecure. So let's talk about the people of the community. We're talking about the in-laws, we're talking about the family, we're talking about the friends. They make marriage hard. I'm supposed to be heading to work. They make marriage hard in a way that they can have their opinions. Like you if you're married to a guy who's not a daddy's boy. Like you if you're not married to a guy who is not like friendly with girls, because those girls will get you jealousy, girl. Like there's nothing like, oh, that's his friend. Girl, you are supposed to be the whole thing in his life, so it kind of like gets to you. But then there are times when you cannot approach him and be like, you know what, I don't like what I'm saying. You can do it, but sometimes I feel like women tend to, okay, I think what makes it hard is when we just lay back and say, you know what, I'm not doing that. Let him, know that is wrong. And, we tend to do that in relationships. Or sometimes you go tell the person, because I heard that when you go to a guy and tell him, oh, I don't think you should be next to that girl, it's like you're giving him like the drill. He's like, oh, so you're jealous, eh? It's like when you tell a man you're cheating, it's like you're pushing him. So I think men or women tend to withhold and be like, okay, let me just watch. And when you're watching, it's actually hurting. And sometimes when you communicate it, then you're not understood. So family can tend to bring chaos, or sometimes when you're staying with a partner, so it makes marriage hard. And I'm saying this because I want to tell you that it is hard. It is hard, and everything has a solution. Yeah, everything has a solution, but I'm trying to show you where sacrifice comes. When they say sacrifice, is that you want to scream and say something, but sometimes just be like, okay, as long as it's not harming you, it's not hurting you in a way that, if it's something that you can let go, you have to learn to let go, because the people will like hold on to stuff. And that was me. I'm still working on it. Like I can hold on to stuff. So marriage is not a bed of roses. No, it has its thorns, and that's what I'm trying to communicate. When you get married, you have your husband's relatives, you have his friends, you have the online in-laws. For us, we're in social media. People are going to poke their nose into your relationship if you two guys are weak and feeble, and you allow those people the outside people to get into your head. They actually will destroy your marriage and make it hard. And lastly, I want to say this mostly to the men, stop being boring. You make life hard for us. I'm just talking to I'm just standing for the girls. Men, sometimes you tend to be boring, mostly to the Christian brothers. Guys, you need to step up. You need to take these girls out, take these girls for date, take her for a band. Come on, spice up your relationship, your marriage. So you come and you're like, oh, my wife is prayerful. Yes, she's prayerful, but this girl is laying down stuff in the altar. She's telling the father, what have I done wrong? Why can't this guy love me the right way? Because for you think coming home and providing and just saying, oh, I love you is enough. For a woman, it's not enough. Because I think for women, why sometimes we think it's easy. A woman is always doing something for a man. She's cooking, she's giving you children. There's something she's doing. So, but she's a vessel that needs to be reminded every day, all the time, that you are beautiful, because her body changes. And hold her hand. Be romantic, man. Stop being religious. Oh, I can't go to that place. I can't go to the beach there. No, you can't take your wife to CJ to eat nice chicken. No, CJ doesn't have corners or non-born agains and non-believers and Christians. No, that's the place where everyone just goes, just mind your business. The thing I want you guys to know is that these things, Christianity is not about religion. Christianity is an identity. It's you showing and reflecting Christ by your actions. And what I'm trying to say is that you can be that man. guys, you have to keep the fire burning. If you're out there and you really, this guy who says, God, you've given me this relationship and I want to make it work, I really don't want to make it, you know, painful and hard for us in this journey, because the truth is that people who are married but unhappily married. So men, you are the leaders, you are the heads, you are the guys that God has put on the throne to lead women. Your sheep is disappearing, getting confused because you guys are not shepherding very well. The girl child needs you. It's a cry. We the wives, we need you. We need you to lead. We need you to love on us. We need you to remind us, because I feel like you are the car and then we are the fuel. The moment the car is fueled, it runs. So I just want to pray and remind you all, like, this is not miscarrying you, that if you want to get married, be ready for what comes in marriage, because people don't talk about this. People just tell you, no, you come, you what? No, like, I want to show you, these are just few things that you need to say, that you guys are going to be different. You can even get a guy you're compatible to, and because you guys are too compatible, you can clash, interests begin to clash, you know. So may God bless you guys. Please like, subscribe, share, and please may you come back to this channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Bye.